Peace. So, day two in the documenting. So I'm driving off to work right now. Speaking engagement. It's like a year-long contract where I work at this alternative ed school. Just really kind of inspiring and guiding and a lot of encouraging and engaging with students. For those who don't know, I'm sure a lot of people do, but for those who don't know, an alternative ed school is a school where students from young as maybe third grade all the way up to 12th grade, they are sent from their school, so they're expelled from their school for one of three reasons. They are expelled for behavior, right? They have been fighting and arguing and something, sexual misconduct, you name it, something behaviorally wise. Is the reason why they were sent to an alternative school. Sometimes the alternative school, they might be there. You know, I've known children that I've met that have been in an alternative ed school since they were in the third grade, and they will stay in the alternative ed schools till they graduate. And so, but they still, even though they'll be shipped out of their district, they go to this other school, but they still have the resources from that school district. So let's just, not to get long-winded about it, but behavior is one of the reasons. But it's really interesting. So they still get the support from their school district, like any services that they need. If they want to play sports, they can still play sports back in their school, but they cannot be in the building with the other children. So behavior is one aspect. Another one is attendance. So if a child is just like chronically and habitually absent from school, that's the reason why they'll get expelled. And the last one is just poor grades, academics. Maybe they're in the building, but they're not. Their grades are suffering, and so they have these alternative ed schools in the state that I'm primarily in, and there are a lot of them. I don't think there were as many, now as they had years ago. And so one of the benefits of alternative ed schools is that it's a smaller environment. So I've been at some schools, I've spoken at some schools where they have as little as 5 children in the entire building, and I've been to some where they have as many as about 100. But it's still, and that's 100 from grades, maybe 4 through 12 again. So it's a smaller learning environment. The kids get a lot of kind of one-on-one attention. So, but here's the other issue that I noticed that I'm learning, because my minor in college is sociology, is that the income inequality gap is growing. So imagine, students who attend an alternative ed school, they're getting a lot of one-on-one, and their behavior is improving, attendance and grades, but they're not really more than likely going to be able to compete with students from your mainstream public schools. And the other little caveat is there are a lot of students who are graduating from public schools who are not going to be ready to compete in this ever-growing landscape of digital technology. And so that's the message of this morning, is just saying, look, this is what I'm doing on my way to this alternative ed school. And that's really about it, right? Just want to encourage somebody, be a lifelong learner. That's the message. Be a lifelong learner. So even as I'm continuing to get older, as I just mentioned, my minor in college right now is sociology, and major is in social work. And so I don't care who you are, you have to continue to go back to school to learn. So although this conversation was about an alternative ed school, the reality is this applies to all of us. We have to make sure that we can stay competitive in society. I don't care what you are doing right now. The reality is, what the data shows is that technology will do one of two things. It will make your job, it'll make you a little bit more productive at your job, but there's a greater likelihood that technology will replace your job, i.e. service industries. If you notice, you go to like supermarkets now, there's self-checkout. That technology has taken somebody's job. We remember a few years ago when you drove on a highway, people collected tickets in, the toll booths. Toll booths are gone. Easy Pass technology has replaced those jobs. And I know you're like, oh yeah, those are like the low wage paying jobs, but you will see in the next 5-10 years, not 30, not 50, not 100, the next 5 to 10 years, there will be even more jobs that will become automated with the inventions of ChatGPT. So long post, 5 minutes. I didn't plan on going that long, but hopefully this content was valuable for somebody, right? I'm a firm believer that my messages are not for everybody, but it's definitely for someone. All right. So have a blessed day. Stay prayed up. Peace.